You walked up to me. You walked up to me.
Yeah, because
now, if we want to have a disagreement about what's happening at the border, let's have the disagreement. Okay. So, when
ancestors came here for free.
Let me get to my point. Now,
your ancestors came here for free.
When people cross the border, they report to Customs and the Border Patrol, who then take them in. And they ask them, were you raped on your course here? And then those numbers are captured, and then they're poured out to an extreme number of women who are raped as they cross the border. Now, when I get to the end of my sentence, there'll be a period, and I'll stop talking. That's your turn to come in.
No grammar rules.
I don't think you were invited to the conversation there, Mr. Mask.
Hang on.
Mr. Miss Mix, I don't even know.
Are you aware of immigrant relief? Do you know what those are?
No.
Immigrant relief.
No.
If there is an immigrant who gets sexually assaulted, they are granted residence. So do you think that there would be a number of people who claim asylum and said that they were raped to be came? Well, that's the statistics that you're using. Because there's immigrants.
So they're taking advantage of the system, it sounds like.
Because they're trying to escape their home countries, which are
They have no right to come to this country.
Well, neither did your ancestors.
Yes, they came here
On
legally.
Manifest Destiny?
We came here legally.
Wait, so your ancestors
came through a port of entry.
So I'm actually Native American. And so when the white people came, was that legally or is that Manifest Destiny?
I don't think that's what we're talking about right now.
That is what I'm talking about. Because
you're talking about Manifest Destiny, you're talking about the border that exists right now.
What I'm talking about is families being separated, and you saying that that's okay.
Yes, as I believe, anybody who commits a crime should be separated from their child until that crime is adjudicated.
But there are families being separated at the legal ports of entry, and you're okay with this?
They're being put in cages, apparently. Yeah, it's terrible.
And you're okay with it?
Well, why would I be okay with children being separated from their families?
Because you're saying that that's what
they did. But I didn't ask them to come to this country. And when you know that's what's going to happen, you have to accept the consequences for your action.
What happens? What happened? Hey, chill the fuck out!
You don't even know what's going on over there.
I don't care.
You keep on getting closer to me. Can you keep on arm's distance, please?
I was trying to hear you. Sorry, I have really hard hearing.
Well, then pay attention to me and not that.
See what's going on here is that, and I just want to summarize. I want to say this, and I want to hear what you have to say.
That's why I come
here. Me too. So what I see is that there is a demonization of a color of people because they're not legal.
Well, that's you seeing racism.
Yes, I think that you're a racist.
How do you know what I am? You have no idea about me.
You just said that it was okay to separate families.
What's that got to do with the race or color of skin?
Because they're over there, but Canadians don't get separated whenever they have their visas.
Because they're not flooding the border in the numbers that the Mexicans are, or El Salvadorans, or Guatemalans, or
are you aware
whatever.
of Operation Fast and the Furious?
Excuse me?
Operation Fast and the Furious.
You mean under
the ATF gun walking scale?
Yes. A little bit. I'm not an expert in it.
So the Border Patrol has been caught multiple times selling weapons to the said drug cartels that they are fleeing.
That's terrible.
So America is manufacturing these.
So now you're on to corruption now, though, versus the law in place.
That's why the migrants are coming. That's why the migrants are coming.
No, they're coming for the free stuff.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They're coming for jobs.
Economic migrants. Yes.
So wait. Is the migrant? I'm sorry, I'm getting closer. Is the migrant coming here to take a job, or is it coming here for free stuff? Because all I see is you getting mad at a working class person.
Who's getting mad? What point did I get mad when I'm discussing my point?
You said
I have no emotion.
I'm saying that you're mad about the Mexicans flooding the border.
Yeah, I think they need to come here legally.
So
and if you flood the border by walking across it, not going through the port of entry, the first step to come into this country is by breaking its laws. It's not a good first move. If you want to be an American.
So what I just said is that the American government is manufacturing the border crisis, and you are demonizing the people who
Excuse
are
me, back that up.
American government.
Yeah, by having an awesome economy. Thank you, President Trump.
No. Hang on. The fuck is that? Do you want to listen, or do you just want to like stare at me?
This is me being quiet.
Okay. Do you think the migrant is coming here for a handout or is coming here for a job?
I have no idea what the motivation is. What I do understand is they're leaving the country.
You just told me that they were coming for a handout,
What I do understand is they're coming from a bad economy to a good economy.
Why?
And they have no right to do that.
It's not just the economy.
They have no right to do that.
It's the gangs. And I'm saying, look at the economy. Why are these economies failing? What about the Nicaraguan, the contras. Like, how do you feel about our American government putting in these fascist dictators that then force these migrants to leave because of the violence? Isn't it just a person trying to survive? How did you come into this country? Why aren't you saying anything?
You're jumping all over the place in your points. I can't follow.
It's because you can't address the racism that I'm pointing out to you.
The border has nothing to do with race. It's people coming in this country illegally.
Why are they coming in?
Because they're coming in for the good economy.
It's not just the economy, it's the safety.
Yeah, because they're not living under the tyranny of a fascist government,
the American installed fascist government,
or the illegal mafia that's running most of those countries.
Which MS-13 was created by America. When you look at them, they're literally controlling the product.
If you say so.
No, check it out. Who does the CIA work with?
It doesn't really matter who created them.
Drug
The fact that they're killing people is a bad thing.
The CIA? The CIA?
The CIA, I don't know what you're talking about.
Is the CIA bad people for killing?
I don't have any understanding of what you're talking about right now. You're saying the CIA made
what I am talking
MS-13.
about is the manufactured problem that you complain about is by the government.
It's not manufactured, unless
It is
you
a
think that a great economy,
Operation
President
Fast
Trump,
and the
thank you very much.
Furious. Operation Fast and the Furious.
It was terrible.
Eric Holder.
Yeah, because he was...
So does that not create border violence?
Yes.
So the American government creates border violence and violence in these
When agencies go rogue with corruption, which there is corruption in any high-level government in almost any country that there is, you know.
What?
There's corruption in almost any high-level positions in government, in all governments, not just the United States. That is a problem, yes, but that is not policy. But that is actually something that's happened.
These are why these people are coming.
I think it's disgusting.
But this
too.
is why these people are coming, and you're demonizing the people trying to survive.
They have no right to
I'm
come
not
here.
demonizing.
They have no
I'm trying to
obligation.
kind of moderate
that
this
your
conversation.
ancestors had a right to come here on my land.
Well, it doesn't really matter. I was born here.
So was I.
Good for you. Thank you
And
for
so
being
are
American.
So are these Americans.
Do you have a house? Do you have a place you lay your head at home?
So do you think that it should just be wide open and people just come and go as they please? There's no need for any vetting or anything, or for people that want to come and take part in the life of the culture that has been established in this country?
Here's the hypocrisy on the side. I want to bring this out. Here's why I think you guys are hypocritical. You say, oh yeah, well we need to have a better way to have legal migrants or whatever, right? But that's not happening. Your Republican side is not trying to do immigration reform. Our
We've
side
tried
is.
to do it several times. The Congress keeps throwing it out. They don't want to talk about it.
That's not making it easier. It's making it more expensive, and it's making the process
Democrats
a lot.
profit from people coming in this country illegally because they are biased towards programs that are designed to support them when they get here.
Okay, but does the immigrant want your job, or do they want a handout? Which is it? Because all I see is
They
a
come
poor
here for a
working
better
class.
life. I cannot vote them for that.
Why can't we get mad at the ruling class that is replacing the worker for the cheaper labor?
I don't know what magical land you live in, but the ruling class doesn't exist. We live in a republic. It thrives under capitalism.
A ruling class doesn't exist.
We have no rulers.
You don't think Donald Trump made the great economy that you're living in?
He did.
So is that not a ruler?
He's not a ruler. He doesn't rule over. He presides.
Right. Okay.
A ruler implies an omnipotent power within the state, like a king or queen. That's not what Trump
don't you think
is.
the authoritarian power grab that he's trying to do is something like that?
I don't know. Tell me an example.
Well, do you know what Dick Cheney did with the vice president of the
You
executive
keep on
overreach?
bringing up other administrations.
No, I'm talking.
Yeah,
because
okay.
this
Dick
is
Cheney, go for it.
You need to have the factual history to understand where we are.
And you assume that I don't.
I do. I mean, you knew about our.
Why does Greg still work for you when he's a fascist piece of shit?
Do you know what fascism is? Can you please define that for me?
What was the name you used? What was the person?
His Nick Fish from City Hall. He works from the
political ideology or the pejorative term?
So
Why do you think that I'm a fascist? Huh? Excuse me? I mean, you've just labeled me with something that I am absolutely not.
you did
I did
say
20
that
years
it
in
was
the Marine Corps.
You did say it was okay to
I
separate
fight for your
families
freedom
because
to be
so
here
did my dad.
and enjoy
for
this
us
liberty,
to
what you're
enjoy, us
exercising
to have
right now.
memorial.
Don't fucking push me like that. Don't fuck around like that. Don't fuck with me.
You didn't mean to.
No.
It was an accident.
Look, all I'm saying is that there's a better way to do this.
You're just charged up.
Don't call me a fascist. And don't assume that I'm a racist.
I do assume you're racist.
Why? That's bigotry. You think this hat makes me a
racist
racist?
against racism. How about that?
What have I done that's
Did
racist?
you get her about the backpack?
Well, you told me that it's okay for families to be
Yeah,
separate.
I saw you.
Yeah, I
It
do,
was not
because that's
deliberate.
the
But
law.
she's so charged up because anything is kind
Under
of
the
clear
race.
off.
But now here's the thing. when expired visas come from Canada, which has the most expired visas, they don't separate those families.
Yeah, we've got a border system and immigration
Do you know
system
what SB 1070 is?
I mean, you make a point. And
So are you
make
saying
take
people with
2 words.
expired visas in Canada versus people illegally crossing over and getting caught?
There are more expired visas from Canada than there are in Mexico.
So are you pro-life?
And they don't go after
Because Mexico doesn't bother to get the visas.
They can't anymore. It costs $5,000. You have to have an attorney.
Yeah,
file the
why
paperwork for you.
would you want to come to a country without any money, especially $5,000?
Because there's
Have
people
you ever
hiring.
been to any other country?
Because there's people hiring.
How much money did you take when you went?
I haven't left this country. I've been to Mexico once.
This tells
before
me a lot
I
about you.
Okay. I mean,
You have no other understanding
I'm a Native
than
American.
what the benefit of this country is. You haven't been to any other country to see the shittiness that happens when you don't run it as a Democratic
What
Republic.
I am aware of is the Democratic government here installing their elected officials.
Installing. What are you talking about? We have
in
elections here.
Nicaragua. No, I'm talking about what our CIA does.
Have you been in Nicaragua?
Okay, what happened with the Iran-Contra?
You know he doesn't want to answer very many questions.
Of course. You're
No, I've
being
never been to
You're all over the
Nicaragua.
place.
I've
Every
never
time
been
you
to
get on one thing, you go to another. It's just following you
In a few
around.
minutes, I think I'm spending
never-
my...
I commend you
never
for
been to
being like
Nicaragua.
civil and not like trying to talk over people and stuff like that. You've always engaged people very positively. I've seen you a few times at these ICE protests and downtown.
Well, because
commend
I
you for
try
it.
to explain why we think you're racist. I try to explain why we think you're
What do you mean
fascist.
me? I'm not a member of any of these organizations. I'm friends with people within them, and I have my own personal beliefs. But
Sure.
I'm here. I try. My channel is about neutrality, whether I am or not on my own personal beliefs. I try not to let that infect too much. But all my questions that I'm asking you are trying to lead to understanding of where you're coming from versus
too.
what you're arguing against. So I'm not trying more in moderation because I don't claim to know all the answers either. You know. So
What my point is that the American government has been interfering with all these Central American countries, installing their leaders so that way corporations can go and profit off the resources there, making those countries poor. Do you believe that?
I haven't confirmed that. I mean. America has had a history through the past previous administrations.
So when we look at Iran-Contra, the Iran-Contra was they couldn't fund the war, so they had to sell drugs they sold arms through the Nicaragua. This is what America does.
Oh, I
and
know.
now
I know the
we're
history.
getting mad at the people leaving those said places.
I understand where you're coming from.
I don't think all your side does.
But you don't. But as far as vetting, like as far as vetting people allowing people to come in here and seek asylum through legal port of entry,
And they're being separated through their families.
once they are you talking about the people that are crossing over the border, or just the people trying to do that and they get separated first while they're being processed?
What I'm saying right now is that there are families going through ports of entry legally and still being separated.
Okay.
And I don't think that's right.
If
You
that's the
should
case,
look that up.
I will look that up. I'm not aware of
This is
that.
why people come out here and say you're racist, you're fascist, because we're witnessing that happening. But then we have a president that says the opposite. So it's like, look, if you look at it right now, look up the port of entries. They separate the families.
But you have a better understanding than I see a lot of these people that are protesting.
Sure.
Because they just they've made up their mind, but they can't explain it to somebody else, their beliefs and their facts.
Right.
And they get emotionally reactive and they get violent.
Right.
And I don't think that's okay. But I think you setting an example for people on opposition to have a meaningful discussion. If you want to try and lead someone through, you're not going to do it with violence.
All I want to do is be able to communicate to you why we think you are racist and fascist.
Okay.
That's why. These people do understand.
Are you saying me?
I'm saying the group here. The group that you're from what I would assume, I
So
would
guilt
say
by
that you
association?
support. Well, I mean,
I'm a left-leaning libertarian. That's how I describe myself.
Look,
I don't
you
necessarily agree with
But when you come out,
me in particular. What?
when you come out here,
I have never been assaulted. I've never assaulted
not saying-
anybody.
I'm not attacking-
I've been attacked multiple times trying to cover and do what I do.
I'm
So,
not saying you
okay.
individually.
Okay.
I'm saying when you come out
Well, clarify
here,
that because
this is hitting.
when these people are point to somebody, talk to the camera, talk to the audience that I'm showing on YouTube.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I already
instead
did.
of
I already did.
you do, but when you say you this, you that, you're putting labels on me by saying that.
But what I was
You understand though that's your verbiage that you're using. So explain what you mean instead of saying things that could be misinterpreted.
That's
what
what I
I'm
do.
saying.
But
okay.
that's what. But what I was saying is like you're saying they can't put it in that articulate form. I'm saying that's why they call you these things. I'm not.
I understand that, but I'm saying if they want to, but the violence and the reaction that I've seen with all that is not the answer. If there's a disagreement,
That's why I'm here talking to you.
and I think that's commendable.
But
I think that you're doing the right thing.
When it comes down, thank you.
And one thing I want to point out is that when you come over to the Patriots or conservatives or whatever, Trump supporters, whatever, Patriot Prayer, whatever, however you want to label people or lump them together or whatever.
Right.
When you come over and talk to us, there is a sanctity that you have amongst us when you talk. We aren't going to smack you over the head with a bar or take you down and pepper spray you and kick the shit out of you. And that's something I've seen countless times with the Antifa crew. And I've been victimized by that.
I understand. I want to tell you, I don't believe
but I want you to know that's the reality. When you come over to that
I'm
side,
not denying that.
But when we go over there, one of us goes over there, we are meat to the wolves, and they're justified.
Check it out. We're having a memorial here. Dudes showed up drunk with a bullhorn, and it's like, come on, like you're saying, like they're gonna come here and not.
I don't speak for their actions.
No, I understand. But what I'm saying is this violence is like that's what happens when these groups come out, and that's why I come up to you and I'm like, hey, you want to talk?
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
And I try to stop that in every way that I can.
Yeah, and you've done that, and I think that's commendable.
So, but at the end of the day, like. These are the two groups. We don't think it's okay for communities to be separated. I don't know if you're aware of DynCorp. DynCorp is an organization, private organization that's been contracted by Customs Border Patrol.
It's like a private security firm?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have been caught trafficking children. Now, there is a shit ton of missing children.
Yeah.
There's been allegations that they've sexually assaulted.
Forever.
Yeah. And so I think that there's something that we should all agree on, and that I think that immigration and customs enforcement is different. I think we need immigration reform. I think that right now there's people fleeing because there's a huge drought. I don't know if you know this, but there's actually a massive drought that's been going on for a couple of years now in Mexico.
Yeah.
And they cannot farm anymore. This is just going to get worse.
Yeah.
And either we're going to address the problem or we're going to keep separating families and locking them up. And so that's why I come out here to communicate this message. All these people come out here and try to argue, but ultimately, like, that's why we think that.
But the people that come over here aren't all well-intentioned people.
See, but now that's you making a blanket statement. Like, that would be like me saying, what if you're a Nazi because you're on that side?
It's not the same because
it is the same because that's a generalization.
Saying not all are one doesn't mean that all are one. And that's what you're saying. You're saying by saying I'm a Nazi because I'm liberal for them, when saying that people coming over, not everybody has well intention.
Do you remember when Daniel Outlaw was on the Lars Larson show?
No, I don't think I heard it.
So it was actually really funny because Daniel Outlaw goes on the Lars Larson show, and then Lars Larson goes, hey, there's like something like 6 or 8% of rapists are immigrants. I forget what the actual number was. Daniel Outlaw goes, that's actually low. And when you look at the actual statistic that he used, that's on like everybody. Like, it's not just like, that's like finding criminals in these groups and being like, oh look, they're criminals. But truly though, with the one individual I was talking to, he said that 60% of them said they've been raped. And then I said, do you know what immigration relief is? Immigration relief, if you leave your home country because you can't afford it, you have no money, you have no food, you have no job, and you come here and you say, hey, I don't have the economic security, you don't get granted that asylum. You get separated from your family, kicked back. So now what's happening is that these individuals try to get immigration relief because they're trying to come in. And either we're going to make it easier or we're going to blame them. And I stand on the side where my ancestors would be, which is on the Native American side. So I appreciate you talking to me.
Thank you very much. I'm Nate. Nice to meet you. I'll be seeing you. Take care. Oh, sorry.